New big push, $1,400 third stimulus check update, $2,000 stimulus check update, plus $75,000 income threshold. Welcome back, you guys. It's Ron Yates here with your third stimulus check update, second stimulus check update, and stimulus package update for today. I hope you guys are doing very well. It is Sunday. It is the 7th of February, and it may be a quiet Sunday for many, but the updates literally just keep pouring in. So let me share the latest and most accurate news on the $50,000 to $75,000 income threshold for the $2,000 and $1,400 stimulus check. The strong push to get this done and make it big from the Democrats, former officials of the Obama administrations, and President Joe Biden himself. I also have the biggest takeaways that we can be seeing coming from the budget resolution vote-a-rama that concluded last Friday. So, all of this in today's video. You don't want to miss out on the latest details on the $2,000 and $1,400 stimulus check. Definitely stay tuned until the very end. But first, I want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And for those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, investing, how to generate multiple streams of income. And of course, we have stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. And so if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. And it's totally free, guys. And the latest video on Matter is literally dropping anytime now. So be sure to check that out. Check out the hottest and the most interesting channel available for all of you curious cats out there. And what I especially love about the channel is that they're like me, they listen to their audience and they even take requests for future videos through their comments. Have a great what if question that you've always been meaning to ask? Literally jump on the Matter channel and ask them. The Matter channel is definitely the place to be. Link in the description down below. But for now, let's jump right into the content. Get ready for this, guys, as a lot of Democrats are now pushing to maintain the $75,000 income threshold for stimulus checks. The main lawmaker voicing out is none other than our stimulus check hero, Senate Budget Committee Chairman Bernie Sanders. Just yesterday, Sanders blasted Democrats who want to push for the lower $50,000 income thresholds for $1,400 stimulus checks. He said on his personal Twitter account, "Unbelievable. There are some Dems who want to lower the income eligibility for direct payments from $75,000 to $50,000 for individuals and $150,000 to $100,000 to couples. In other words, working class people who got checks from Trump would not get them from Biden. Brilliant." In another tweet minutes later, Sanders posted from his Senate account, "I strongly oppose lowering income eligibility for direct payments to $75,000 to $50,000 for individuals and $150,000 to $100,000 for couples. In these difficult times, all working class people deserve the full $1,400. Last I heard, someone making $55,000 a year is not rich." Bernie Sanders, my man, he is always going in, right? And you can imagine the kind of support that Sanders from his Twitterverse, one of the most prominent being progressive representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who retweeted Sanders' post writing, "It would be outrageous if we ran on giving more relief and ended up doing the opposite." Now, of course, she's referring to the campaign. It's sad that this is even an argument in the Dem party. COVID relief is disaster relief, and it's urgent. Our first act out of the gate should be bold and strong, not weaker and smaller. In conclusion, $50,000 is whack, and we shouldn't do whack things. And I couldn't have said it better, AOC. Bravo. And if you remember, the first talk of this came last Tuesday when some senior Democrats were reported to be discussing a proposal to begin phasing out stimulus checks for those who earn above $50,000 for single taxpayers, $75,000 for people who file as heads of households, and $100,000 for married couples. And on Thursday, the Senate voted 99-1 on an amendment from Senator Joe Manchin and Susan Collins related to targeting the stimulus checks that make sure that the upper income taxpayers are not eligible. And now a group of more than 50 House Democrats are asking President Joe Biden to stick with the $75,000 income cap for individuals to receive upcoming $1,400 stimulus checks. And the letter said, "We understand that the administration is considering proposals from Republican senators to lower the income threshold for economic relief payments. These lower income thresholds would leave behind struggling individuals and families in regions where the costs are very high." So what do you guys think? $75,000, $50,000, which of these do you guys think should be the cutoff for the $1,400 stimulus check? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comments. And another group pushing for big stimulus is the 200 officials from the Obama administration who wrote an open letter to Congress urging them not to shrink its stimulus bill just because of the Republicans' complaints over the deficit spending. They warned that they made that mistake 12 years ago in the last economic crisis, and it might happen again this time around. And here's them talking about the 2009 stimulus package. The resistance we faced from deficit fearmongers seeking to water it down ate up valuable time and diluted the amount of aid that reached struggling families and small businesses. We know from history that they are wrong and sabotaging the ability of our nation to fully and equitably recover. Overall, they said that because they gave in to what the Republicans were saying about spending too much money, and they unnecessarily prolonged the Great Recession, which I think everybody here felt back then. And the signers include several members of Obama's cabinet. Among them were Tom Perez, who was Labor Secretary and later led the Democratic National Committee. You also have Julian Castro, who was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development and ran for president just last year, and Kathleen Sebelius, who was Secretary of Health and Human Services. High-ranking advisors such as Valerie Jarrett, Dan Pfeiffer, and John Podesta also signed. And Perez said, "The economic numbers here are dire. They make the Great Recession look like a mild recession, which it wasn't. We can't afford not to do what the president is proposing." And I think Biden hears this loud and clear and is rearing up to sign his name on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package with or without Republican support. And his last remarks on Friday included, "I've told both Republicans and Democrats that's my preference to work together. But if I have to choose between getting help right now to Americans who are hurting badly and getting bogged down in a lengthy negotiation or compromising on a bill, that's up to the crisis. That's not an easy choice. I'm going to help the American people who are hurting now." His remarks at the White House came only hours after the Senate endorsed the president's $1.9 trillion stimulus package with a 50-50 vote, plus Vice President Kamala Harris's first ever tie-breaking vote. The House also quickly followed to pass the budget resolution of 219 to 209. The House committee heads and Democratic leaders met on Friday morning with the president at the White House to discuss strategy in the coming weeks, and right after that, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi came out saying it was her goal to have a bill approved and moved to the Senate within 2 weeks. And I think the fire has really been lit because Biden's also making it personal by going to social media and posting his recent call to Michelle from Roseville, California, who lost her job at a startup clothing company due to the pandemic. He included a 2.5-minute video of the call with Michelle responding, "We're so glad that we have you focusing on that," after Biden talked about the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And if you're wondering where Michelle came from and how she got in touch with President Biden, well, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said that Biden keeps in touch with regular Americans in various ways, like correspondence letters, in his briefing book, every night, and on the phone. Well, guys, this goes to show, like I've been saying for weeks and months now, that your voice literally is being heard and that you should reach out to your congressman. And I say congressmen, but congressmen and women. And don't limit it to your congressmen and women. Reach out to the president too. All right, so let's cover some other takeaways from the budget resolution votorama. All right, so first, raising the minimum wage is in trouble. When Senator Johnny Ernst presented an amendment to prevent the wage hike from happening during the pandemic, there was a surprise. It passed without a big hiccup. Senator Bernie Sanders, the wage hike's most prominent backer, ultimately didn't object to the manner, noting that his plan wouldn't raise the minimum wage to $15 until well after the pandemic in 5 years' time overall. Budget experts say that the minimum wage policy may be one of those things that just can't pass through the budget reconciliation process, applying what they call the bird rule. And speaking of birds, Democrats may also not get all their ducks in a row here, as one of their own, Senator John Manchin, also came out against the $15 minimum, saying that he thinks that an $11 is more appropriate in his state. This may be the reason why Sanders pushed the vote already without hearing more people, as they may hear more Democrats going on the record about the minimum wage this early in the game. So, let's see, guys, more on this soon. But overall, it is shaping up to look very much like Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package, with the $1,400 direct payments or stimulus checks, a $400 per week jobless benefit through September, $350 billion in state, local, and tribal government relief, a $20 billion national COVID vaccination program, $50 billion for virus testing, $170 billion for K-12 schools and higher education institutions, and a $30 billion rent and utilities assistance fund. Best estimates here, Democrats and Republicans could still come out with a $1.3 trillion bill that is still closer to Biden's proposal than the Republicans' counteroffer. So really a lot to look forward to, guys, for the $1,400 stimulus check this week. So make sure you're always subscribed and be sure to hit that notification bell. I only give you guys the latest and most accurate updates from the best and most trusted news sources and insider information. I'll be here with you guys every step of the way until we get that third stimulus package, and of course that fourth stimulus package and any stimulus check package even after that point. So make sure you guys are subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that you guys can keep up to date and stay in tune with the latest updates. And speaking of updates, just a small note for you guys, I've been reading your comments asking for updates on the $200 weekly increase in SSI, SSDI, VA, and railroad benefits, and still I'm constantly on the lookout for the latest news on it. But right now it looks like they're gonna be pushing this for a later time. But I'll definitely be sure to keep you guys posted as soon as something comes up on this. I know you guys have been waiting for it, so definitely keep watching for my next videos, and I'll call it out as soon as the latest news is released on that. All right, so let's keep the money talk going with our very special Sunday personal finance tidbit, right? So we've been discussing saving more and spending less a lot lately, right? So check out my previous videos to learn more about those. All right, so for now, let's move on to another important part of the personal finance game. We're talking about earning more, specifically earning more from your side hustles. So let me share some lessons that I picked up along the way as I was developing my own side hustles. So first is, rather than look outward, look to yourself and see how you can make more money through your own interests, the things you love doing. So when you're starting with your side hustles, you don't need a lot of money to get an idea off the ground. What matters is that you pick something that works with your schedule, with your skills, and maybe even a passion that you've ignored for a long time. The key here is to be intentional though. It's also good to write down your goals. Put your words to paper, we talked about this before, and they become more real, more tangible as you can hold them in your hands. And after that, track your progress. Having your financial information literally at your fingertips helps you stay in touch with your progress. And of course, use any expense tracking software or apps to record your expenses. And once you guys start doing it regularly, you can literally cut out any kind of like unnecessary expenses that might be draining away at your bottom line in real time. It also helps to find like-minded people to network with. There are so many personal finance communities on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok, who can literally help you keep motivated and stay inspired to exceed your money goals. I swear, like one year, I literally made an extra $150,000 from a side hustle. Our very own group here on YouTube is already a solid community for personal finance. It's important to surround yourself with people who are also on the same path. Regular discussions and check-ins with them can literally help you keep motivated to move forward toward your goals. I literally cannot underline this enough. Like, this is so important to have like a support group. Surrounding yourself with other people who are actually trying to achieve the same goals as you are will literally keep you guys motivated. And from there, literally keep thinking big. Determination and perseverance are so key. So really the sky is the limit, you guys. We'll talk more about side hustles in future videos, more details. And, question for you guys, any side hustles that you guys have tried for yourself, let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Or maybe you want to try one. I would love to hear what side hustle might you even want to try in the future. Maybe you haven't done it yet, but you've kind of been thinking about a way to make extra money. Drop a comment down below. Maybe I'll cover it in a future video, maybe kind of expand on that particular idea, kind of help you get going. Let's make this really fun and interactive. So tell me about it in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to pick it up for the next video, maybe with a special mention and drop your name, of course. But let's keep the personal finance conversation going, because personally, I'm really enjoying it, and I know you guys are. And based on the comments that I'm seeing, a lot of you guys are starting to gravitate toward this, making more money, investing, how to come up financially. So that's really what's up, you guys. But yeah, anyway, drop me a comment down below, say hello, drop me a comment, let's talk. But so anyway, guys, that is all for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. You've got the latest news on the $50,000 to $75,000 income threshold for the $1,400 stimulus check, which is supposed to be known as the $2,000 stimulus check. You've got the strong push to get this done and make it big from the Democrats. You've got former officials from the Obama administrations and President Joe Biden himself. I've also covered the biggest takeaways that we can see from the budget resolution vote-a-rama that concluded last Friday. So if you haven't already, definitely do me a favor. I put a lot of effort into these videos. Hit the like button, share this video on Facebook, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. And be sure to check out the big old M sitting right above my head. Check out Matters channel. It's an awesome channel, great content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.